The leaders are Mr. Mondani and Ocasio-Cortez and Bernie Sanders. And yes, they're socialists, neo-socialists. They want government to control your life and tell you how to live it. To be a member of their club, you have to have contempt for America.
You know what the Democratic Party basically is now? Some people from Wall Street, a lot from Silicon Valley, shrinking number, academia, universities, elite, effete people who look down on everybody else.
The new Democratic Party is nothing to brag about, but it's also not going away, not easily.
Our next guest worked day and night to get rid of a far-left mayor in Oakland, California. After successfully ousting Mayor Sheng Tao in the recall, the city's voters then elected progressive Barbara Lee to be its new leader instead of a more centrist candidate.
While Mondani tours the 5 boroughs of New York City, our guest warns if he wins, the damage could be felt across America. For more, let's bring in Oakland activist Seneca Scott. Seneca, you retweeted something with a comment the other day, and it really struck me. That what is going on is, and this is, City Desk wrote this, but the whole platform, you call these fake socialists or communists soggies because they're essentially socialist cosplay or communist cosplay. And it's a grift that is just built atop unions and non-governmental organizations. And they exist in perpetuity and perpetuate a crisis that never ends for the very residents of these cities.
Very well put. And yes, the Saudis are a very, very serious threat to America, the comedy notwithstanding of the name. New York City is in trouble. And if New York City is in trouble, America is in trouble. And these progressives or Saudis, they capture U.S. cities with very sophisticated ecosystems, complete with large nonprofits, public sector labor unions, large foundations like Open Society from George Soros, and they work together in a very insidious way to move around dark money. And these platforms and these campaigns are the same from Oakland, California to New York City and in other cities in America that we're now helping to either avoid being captured by these fake phony progressives and fake socialists, or uncapture in the case of Oakland, California.
You know, they always want to portray these things as really grassroots, right? This is a movement of the people, for the people. But I don't know, I watch this, Seneca, and it looks to me like the very opposite of that. They're trying to put up a pretty picture of the people, but in reality, it's something very different that's providing the energy for a Mamdani. Can you explain kind of how that happens and why it looks one way, but the reality is something different?
Well, it's the puppets that they put in power to sort of speak for the people and act as if they care. But if you really look deeper, these progressive movements are largely white-led, and they actually have a very real contempt for people of color. They use us as pet rocks and stray dogs. But that's not nearly as important to me as the danger facing these cities. First, I need for people to understand, cities are places of commerce. Above all, a city's government's job is to protect commerce. Cities are also very complicated ecosystems that usually require the talents of a lot of people. The mayor itself usually doesn't have the talent to do it all, so they have to specialize in something. What does Mondani specialize in? Being a professional activist? Even as a current legislator in New York, he doesn't have anything to hang his hat on. And that is how they destroy cities like that. They're not qualified to run them. It's like giving a toddler the keys to your automobile and let them drive themselves to school.
How is Oakland, Seneca, and what should we watch out for here in New York? Most people think that Mondani will win, but it's still early days. But I look at your feed and the work that you do just about the public housing crisis, and you have progressives who they let people live in squalor, and It's shameful.
You know, here's the thing. One thing that Zorline's doing good and that progressives and the Democrats excel at is at least acknowledging the issues facing the working class. And they're leaving the problem with meek moderates. I actually have more contempt for the meek moderates who are cowards, who refuse to stand up and protect their cities because they allow themselves to be emotionally blackmailed by these progressive apparatus. If more people just stood up and they said, no, we're not doing this. You're not qualified for the job. You don't even have the basic knowledge, skills, and ability to perform the job. You don't understand municipal finance.
Right.
You can't even show us that you do. Then these things wouldn't even happen. And so we have to look at the business community, the meek moderates, and we have to look to the people to have the courage and the backbone to stand up right now. But more importantly, you have to listen to the issues of the working class. We are going through a transition right now. Mm-hmm. We're going to reindustrialize. That's on the table in America. It's a very exciting time. We cannot have someone at the helm of our most important city, our financial base, who doesn't even understand basic business, who's never run a business, who doesn't have any intentions on bringing anyone in who runs a business.
Well
This is very
said.
scary.
Seneca, thank you for that. Seneca Scott, great interview. We appreciate your time.
I adore you,
Thank you.
Seneca. Thank you so much.